What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down the best 3 quarterback footwork tips. Okay, so we're going to be talking about 3 specific things that quarterbacks must do back there in the pocket, getting out of the pocket, on the run to make themselves successful because it starts from the ground up. You cannot be a good quarterback if you don't have clean footwork back there in the pocket and can move efficiently. You don't need to be the fastest guy in the world, don't need to be the quickest guy in the world, but you have to move efficiently and eliminate wasted motion, and that's going to be the focus of today. But also, fellas, if you're a quarterback and you want to be able to maintain your arm strength, you don't want to lose arm strength throughout the season, lose strength in general, lose size, lose speed, lose explosiveness. Check out that very first link in the description for our in-season 28-day quarterback gym training schedule. So what it is, it's a 4-week long schedule where we break down specific workouts all tailored to help quarterbacks during the season. We give you specific sets and reps designed to help you hit peak performance on game night. So check out that very first link in the description below to help you guys shoulder mobility, arm health, arm strength, and all the above improve. Let's get started with this video. So the first clip we're looking at here is from Tom Brady. We're going to be mainly just talking about how you guys can eliminate any wasted motion back there in the pocket and have a quicker release, right? So anytime we get set to this spot, like I'm ready to throw, I'm trying to get this ball out, when it comes down to lower body mechanics, we're not focusing too much on the upper half. You just got to make sure that you are preloaded with this back leg, right? Because at the end of the day, you don't want to have any kind of load. You don't want to load back on that back foot. You don't want to hit the top of your drop, have all your weight on your front foot like here, and then have to load up on the back leg. You want to be preloaded. Now, Brady might be a little bit too wide here for some people's standards, right? They might say that, oh, I would like his back foot to be underneath his frame a tad and be a little bit more here. I don't have a problem with where his back leg is as long as his hips are able to rotate through, right? That's the problem. What a lot of quarterbacks will do is when they have this back leg back here, they won't transfer their weight effectively to this front leg, and their back leg will swing way out behind. It'll trail, and then their shoulders will come through before their hips. So just maybe if you struggle with that and you have a naturally wider base and you maybe struggle to get more velocity on the ball and you like to load up, maybe close it down a tad, right? Everybody's a little bit different in the way they throw things, but I honestly think Brady's fine here because of how much he's already loaded on this back leg. You see how he's in the pocket? There's no like dip down. There's literally, he lands at the top of the drop like this, and then he stays like that. It's just a shift of his weight to that front leg. That's where we want to be able to get to, fellas. When you guys are in a position like this and you have to dip down, like your pad level super high, and you got to bend your knee, you got to sink your weight down to be able to sink on that back leg and throw, it's just wasted motion. Like let's talk about a concept for an example here. Like let's say Brady's throwing a dig and he's got like a pivot concept right here, right? That was a bad pivot. Let's say he's got dig and then he's got a pivot concept, and we're reading this flat defender, he crashes on the pivot. We have to get it right here because let's say there's a Mike backer. If Brady were to have this thing right here and then he were to take an extra step and load up, that Mike backer would jump it and pick it off, especially at the level of football that he was playing at, right? So this is why it's so important. He's just got that back leg loaded, and it's just a shift of his weight. You see how quick his stride is because all it is he's driving from his back leg, not his back foot. He's not pushing off of the inside arch of his foot. That's where his weight's loaded, I would say, but he's shifting his weight. When you shift your weight to the front leg, the stride's quicker, and then obviously the ball's a little bit quicker because that allows your hips to rotate through quicker. So make sure, fellas, number one best footwork tip that quarterbacks can do, make sure that when you're moving in the pocket, no matter where you are, your back leg is loaded, you have weight on the back leg, so you are ready to transfer and shift your weight at any time because, again, those throwing windows, as you get older and older, get smaller and smaller and smaller. So let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Brady getting this thing out of his hands and having that perfect base back there in the pocket. So the second thing I want to talk about, fellas, is a hook replace step, okay? So when do you want to use a hook replace step? And then obviously, how can you be a little bit more consistent with that hook replace step? So we're looking at this story from Baker Mayfield. So what is a hook replace? A hook replace is where you are hooking your front foot. So you see how Mayfield hooks the front foot right here, and then you are replacing where your front foot was with your back foot, okay? So you see how his front foot was about here, so his front foot's here. Now he takes another step, then he hooks, replaces where his front foot was with his back foot, and now he's ready to throw. He's got his weight on his back leg. He's ready to transfer this thing through and drive, okay? Excuse me, I might have misspoke there. You want to replace, so you hook right here, and you want to replace your left foot with where your right foot is right there, where you first hooked. So you hooked in its place, then you're trying to get your right foot to where you hooked so you guys can get your hips actually flipped. So they call it a hook replace step, okay? Sorry if that was a little bit confusing, but you want to hook with the front, replace where it is with your back foot. Now, when do you want to use this type of a throw? So you could use this throw in this situation, right? You got a guy coming top shoulder, and you're working like a sprint out, boot action, whatever it may be, and you got to pull up and put the brakes on, and you still got to be able to get the ball out. You don't want to waste all this extra time taking choppy steps, so you use a hook replace step. Or maybe it's like an escape scenario, and again, I'll use another passing concept. Like let's say Mayfield's here, he's rolling this way, and he's got a route coming, but it's trailing a little bit behind him, and he doesn't have time to just like make this super awkward Patrick Mahomes throw. So you do a hook replace, you get your feet set, and you can hit this thing coming back across. So it's only used, I would say, when you're rolling to your non-dominant side, and you have to pull up and throw, or you're having to make a throw with somebody trailing slightly behind you and it's a little bit too awkward to stay on the run, okay? So that's when you use a hook replace. So now, what's the main keys on a hook replace? When you guys hook, you want to be violent with your feet. That's the only way you're going to be able to kind of stop yourself and bring yourself to balance on this hook replace step. But when you guys do this hook replace, you want to make sure that you're nice and light with the front foot, because you see when Mayfield's light, when he lands with that back foot, he's got weight on the back leg. Just like that clip we were talking about with Tom Brady, he's loaded. That back knee is almost like over his toe, if you will. He's sitting on that back leg because now what's he going to do? The second he hits that back leg, he's going to transfer through. And that transfer makes the front stride go down. That's what will get the hips to go through. And that's how you guys can get the ball. So a hook replace is a great thing that you guys can master, a great thing that you guys can work on. In your spare time, like I said, just something you could work. Like you may even have like a towel, right? Like you've probably seen some clips of me if you've been following this channel long enough of me throwing with a towel. You guys could work that hook replace step with a towel just to work the motion, just to get repetition, and just so you guys can get used to taking those steps. Because in a game, everything happens fast, and you got to be able to react quickly with this type of a move, because this is an off-platform throw. Okay, let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Mayfield getting out of the pocket and then having that nice clean hook replace step to get his hips to the target and then being able to deliver a strike downfield. Okay. Now, also, fellas, if you guys have not heard, we are going to be coming to Las Vegas for a 2-day quarterback and wide receiver training clinic on September 11th. That is our youth quarterback wide receiver training clinic. And then September 12th, that will be our high school quarterback and wide receiver clinic. If you guys are in the Las Vegas area or close to it, feel free to come out to this thing. Check out that second link in the description below to register. It'll be a great opportunity for you guys to get some work in. We'll have receivers out there. We'll have quarterbacks out there. Everybody will be getting better. We also have a speed coach coming in and talk to you guys about the 40-yard dash, give you some specific things to make you faster. Then obviously I will be working with the quarterbacks and wide receivers separately while one of the groups does the speed work. So I hope you guys can check that out. Second link in the description below. If you guys are in the Las Vegas area, come out and get some good work. It's a great opportunity for you guys to get better. All right, so now last clip we're going to be talking about here is Patrick Mahomes on the run. So what should my footwork be on the run? What's important about throwing on the run with my lower half? Because a lot of people think that it's just the upper half, right? Now we're not even going to talk about this arm angle right here because I know it's just that's not the focus of this. But the main focus is that nothing on this really is different with the lower half. The only thing that Mahomes does different is he changes up that arm angle like he does so well, right? But when you're on the run, and again, a lot of guys who have a baseball background do a really, really good job of this. They do a really great job of this because they're trained to do this, right? In baseball, it's just naturally. You feel the ground ball, you're on the run, you have to throw this thing to first. It's really the same concept. So the place that we want to get to with my lower half is you want to step in the direction of the throw with your throwing side foot. Now, a lot of people think oh, that's just common sense, right? And yeah, but the only problem is that a lot of people won't point their toe towards the throw. What they'll do is they'll be rolling out to the right. They'll step with the throwing side leg correctly. They'll have the right sequence, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But their toe will be going towards the sideline, or their toe will be going inside. And the problem with that is that loads your hips to the inside or towards the outside. You want to step directly in the direction of that throw. Kind of like when you throw normally, you step with your front foot. It's the same idea when you're throwing on the run. You want to point that toe in the direction of the throw because that will load your hips to the throw. And when your hips are loaded to the throw, that's what will help you be more consistent if you kick through correctly with your opposite foot. Now, when you guys step with your non-throwing side, you want to make sure that your shoulders are rotated back. When I step with when I step with my throwing side foot, that's when I want to rotate my shoulders back. Because when you rotate back with the ball, you see how his shoulders and his hips are separate. They call that dissociation, right? Or AKA how you produce torque, right? That's how you get more velocity. When you can separate your upper half from your lower half, and the lower half hips are driving at the target, you have momentum because you're on the run, your shoulders stay back, and then you kick the left leg through because the left leg kicking through is what brings the ball through. That's no different than when we throw normally, we're bringing our back leg through. On the run, it's all opposite. So when you kick this left leg through, that's what's going to bring the ball through. And if you stay square with that upper half and you don't swing that front side either, that's how you get a lot of torque. But it all starts with the feet, fellas. You got to make sure when you're on the run as a quarterback, I'm stepping in the direction of the throw with my throwing side foot. That's when I rotate my shoulders and I'm kicking that left leg through to get more snappiness and more twitch on that ball so I can get more velocity and be more consistent. Let's watch the thing again, full speed right now. That is a textbook throw from Patrick Mahomes. Great job rotating the shoulders on the step and then obviously kicking that left leg through to get more power and to be more consistent. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comments below. I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And again, fellas, if you guys want an in-season 28-day quarterback gym training schedule, 4 weeks of all the specific exercises with sets and reps broken down for you on all the things that you guys can do to get get better, maintain your arm strength, shoulder mobility, take care of your rotator cuff, all those specific exercises, check out that very first link in the description below. And again, if you're in the Las Vegas area or close to the Las Vegas area, you guys want to come out to our training clinic September 11th and September 12th, check out that second link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.